Okay, I think we got our issue straightened out there. We should be coming up now. WMOX joining us now. What we're finding out, we have a major power outage in Meridian. Clarkdale High School is going to be delayed until 9 a.m. this morning. Again, 9 a.m. start time. We have a power line that is across the road. Let's go back and show y'all this, where we are. A power line has broken coming into Meridian. It has the roadway blocked. All right, here we go. Let's pull this back up where you can see what we're looking at here. Here's what we have. Hillcrest Drive is where traffic is being diverted. This is coming in. This used to be the old White Castle. That is about where all this begins. You'll have to take Hillcrest Drive over to 22nd Avenue into Meridian to the four-way stop there by Cefco or Red Light. As you get to Cefco. All this area between Myrtle Drive all the way up the hill is blocked. Let's show you why this is blocked as we look at this. This is power lines that are down across Highway 45 going up the hill. This has roughly 798 people without power is what we've got. This is across roadway. No way around it. Again, Hillcrest Drive, if you're coming into Meridian, to go around this. If you're leaving town going toward Quitman, 145, you'll need to take 22nd Avenue Heights and then turn back to Hillcrest Drive to go out that way. Crews are on the scene. We've got the Meridian Police Department blocking the road until daylight. We're starting to see some light out there, and then orange cones will block the road until this is fixed. So that's what's going on in Meridian. Now, let's talk about this again. As we just found out from the superintendent of education, as Odie was talking with them, Clarkdale High School has a delayed opening this morning until 9 a.m. due to there's no power. And let's go back here and take a look at this. We had a glitch a while ago. We weren't on the air. We thought we were. You have to actually hit the button. I thought I did. Here's what we have with the power outage, and as we were talking about, this goes all the way down past Greg's. This will begin just outside of town. This is going to be just north of where the Waffle House is, Roebuck Drive. Power goes out there around Myrtle Drive all the way up the hill, all this area by the Evangel Temple. Look at this, without power. Wolf Springs, Crescent Lake Road. As we get here out to T.M. Jones Road, all the way down here, about half of that, Spring Hill Road without power, 145, parts of South Anderson Road, and then this is where we have the problem with the kids. Clarkdale High School right now has no power. Portions of it did, portions of it didn't, so they had to cancel the entire thing until 9 o'clock. They hope to have something going on by then for the kids to be able to make it to school. So that is our issue this morning as you're waking up going, what is going on? We don't have power in these areas. Roughly 800 people without power right now as workers are quickly trying to restore this. Now, what happened? As Odie and I were talking when he first came in, my gut was, I was there this week with copper thieves that had been on top of that hill. What happened, they've been replacing wiring up there, and they had tightened it up with the new wire, and one of these old poles cracked. The top of it broke out. As a matter of fact, let's go back and take a look at that picture. I got that handy, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I'll be able to pull that up without right here. If you'll see that right there, the top of that pole, let's zoom in on that a little bit better where you can see that. Top of that pole broke off. If you'll see that right there, and then down came all of the power. So this is what has caused all this. It's amazing what a little thing can turn into a big thing, isn't it? Makes it without power. 800 of you right now sitting in the dark trying to figure out how to get dressed. We feel for you. We really do. It's tough to be without power. Comes to mind with Generac. If you need one of those, talk to our friends at Booker Electric. They can get you electricity whenever it goes out. Within 45 seconds, your home is back on and rolling again. One of the greatest inventions there has ever been. Runs off propane. Highly, highly suggest having one of those for your home. Talk to them about it, about not being without power from now on. That's where we are. 800 people without power this morning as you're waking up. 145 is blocked if you're coming into Meridian or leaving Meridian. Hillcrest Drive is where you need to take coming into Meridian, 22nd Avenue, to go around that, or you'll have to go out by the Ag Center to avoid all of that and then get on 145 that way. two ways to do that coming into Meridian as we get this going. Now let's go on out to Collinsville now, get a good word, and we'll have some headlines shaping America.
Have you ever been part of an unhealthy church? The pastor isn't respected as a spiritual leader. There's so much gossip going around, and the members of the church just flat out don't like each other. It's never fun, nor is it spiritually healthy to be involved in a church that doesn't have the love and affection that the Bible says a church should have. But what does the Bible say about a healthy church? Listen to what the Apostle Paul writes in 1 Thessalonians 5:12 and 13. Now we ask you, brothers and sisters, to give recognition to those who labor among you and lead you in the Lord and admonish you, and to regard them very highly in love because of their work. Be at peace among yourselves. Paul points us to two relationships we must cultivate in order to have a healthy church family. The first is the relationship between the congregant and the pastor. Paul says to give recognition or honor to those who are your leaders in the Lord's work. These men are your spiritual leaders. They lead you and they admonish you in the Lord. They tend the flock of God. Therefore, Paul says to love them and to regard them highly because their task is a difficult one. The second relationship Paul tells us to cultivate for a healthy church is the relationship between the people of the church. He says to be at peace among yourselves. Churches will not thrive while the people are fighting, grumbling, or gossiping with one another. The church is a family. So each person within the body should be treated with love and peace. If there's a conflict, address it in love. Don't let it fester like a sore. Be at peace with everyone. So, you want a healthy church? You got to love the men in the pulpit and the people in the pews. Change begins in you.
The Change Begins in You is brought to you in part by Piggly Wiggly of Collinsville, Patrick Allen Companies, Mitchell Tire and Wrecker in Collinsville, and Mowdy Cabinetry.
Welcome back. I'm your friend Scotty Ray as we begin this morning. If you're just now tuning in again, Clarkdale High School, a delayed opening until 9 a.m. due to all this power outage that we have on the south part of town. The Meridian Police Department, we've got linemen in the area working to restore power. On the Hill roadway is blocked as an update of what we give you this morning. It is 6:44 already as we begin this. Again, we want to welcome WMOX Radio in with us this morning as we all get this day underway. I did not realize so many people had lost their lives as we go to Asia. 2,062 people, I think, have lost their lives in an earthquake that happened there. Wow. Worldwide, people are jumping in to help out. I know the United States military is helping with recovery efforts in that area. Sad. Keep those folks in your mind. Now, this I'm being serious with you as I tell you this headline. This is to me because they're good people. I've worked around them. I spoke with them. Fooling with the Amish is like fooling with the Pope. They mind their own business. They do their own work. And they don't bother anybody. Again, when I was working out of town, I think I was in Pennsylvania. Some of the nicest folks you'd ever want to meet. They're intrigued by folks like us that have power and do things. They ask a lot of questions, and I ask them a lot of questions. But my point is, they don't own cars, you know that. They go to work or town with their horse and buggy. I'll give you two examples. Not sure if it's the same guy. Pulled over the horse and buggy and robbed them. Who robs the Amish? I mean, that's bad, folks. They're still looking for the culprits that done it, pulled a gun. Of course, it took them a while to get to town to report it. They don't have phones like we do. And that is why thieves prey on people like that. I'm afraid we're getting ready to see more of this. I mean, that's being targeted, there's no doubt, because they know it can't be reported quickly. I don't know this guy, but I know a lot of you do who pay attention to Seahawks. Former Seahawks player Richard Sherman, his wife were fast asleep, his family. Someone broke in at gunpoint, robbed the entire family. Everybody was okay, but still. You know, you don't hear about that as much lately as being armed in the middle of the night. It does happen. That's one of those examples. Ticket scalping. It's been something that's been going on forever. Trump has signed a presidential decree. He's put it to paper, and, well, he had a visitor to talk about it. And I'm telling you, he'll blind you if you're not real careful there. Kid Rock, he was dressed for the occasion. Ticket scalping, an executive order has been signed to try to deter this from people. They were poking fun at Kid Rock over his outfit there. Big thank you to Fox News for putting that out there so we could show you what he looked like at the occasion. People are going to make money off of that. They try. Let's see here. We had a judge pass this, and I agree with his judgment on this. Gene Hackman and his wife, they're going to release camera footage of the home, but he has blocked showing Gene or his wife. We don't need to see that. That does not need to be the last image in your life that you think of Gene Hackman. They're going to have that blocked. Everything else they will show around the home as they release the information about what went on. I agree with it. Mexico. This probably needs to happen here as well. Mexico has banned junk food in sales of school. Now, we may actually already have that. It's probably pirated in because there's not vending machines in our high schools and things. It's probably done here, but they've done that to try to fight obesity among children. Weird, we talked about this guy. He was on his actual birthday was the 29th, and we talked about him being on the cover of TV Guide some few years ago. You remember that Thornbirds? Richard Chamberlain, the star of that show, has passed away. We just talked about that guy. He was the one that played the pastor in the Thornbirds. Passed away. I remember as a kid, if you wanted to get your kite really high, you tied it to a rod and reel. And then that way you had the line, you could reel your kite back in. Washington, we've had a kid's kite taken away. And you go, why? Well, it hit an airplane. That boy had some string on his airplane, on his kite. I've never heard of that happening before.
Oh, I could have cut the line and said, that ain't my kite.
Gotta go. My, oh my. But all is good, but they took his kite away from him. He won't be doing that anytime soon. Oh, let's see here. We'll talk about that another day. Another person arrested for trying to tear up some stuff at Tulsa. We have one person arrested for trying to run over those that were protesting. It's a little back and forth there, isn't it? Let's see here. This is like Jesse James. I feel it. The horse coming. A train was robbed. Oh, and you're thinking, oh, it's petty. Oh, no, it's not. It was a shipment of Nike shoes that were stolen. People, if we really were to concentrate criminals the amount of time that they put into stealing things, imagine if they worked what they could accomplish in life. A whole shipment of them.
Yeah.
Well, they kind of done that in Breaking Bad, if you remember. Stopped the train and stole everything that was on the train. You remember that? Yeah. My, oh, my, oh, my. Later on in the week, we'll talk more about what is going to happen with the tariffs on cars. What cars will be affected by this? We got a little list. We'll see if we can come up with that and talk about that later on in the week there. Let's see. Authorities are investigating a fire damage New Mexico, rather. It happened at a GOP headquarters. Fire there. No arrests have been made. Let's see what else we got this morning here. NYPD girl, Kim Delaney. Y'all remember her? She played on the show. She's been arrested for suspicion of assault. The women can hurt y'all. Just letting you know there. Yosemite Sam National Park, if you're familiar with that. We have a park worker that is deceased. Now, they're not telling everything they know at this point. She had a severe injury and had gone back to where she stayed at. She would later die from her injuries. They haven't said if it was accidental, if she fell, or anything. They're being quiet. Hope to find out more about that before too long there. New York, that New York governor, what's her name? Kathy, do you pronounce this Hutchel? It's something close to that. Y'all know who I'm talking about, the governor of New York. She's announced that New York landmarks will be lit pink, white, and blue for Transgender Day of Visibility. We'll leave it at that. We'll be back in just a moment. Check your forecast. We're about to run out of time, aren't we? We'll be right back where your forecast is as we get this day underway.
For something as vital as your eyes, you should have your lenses and contacts made with the utmost care and precision. And that's what Grayson Optical does on 24th Avenue. Since 1996, Grayson Optical's mission has been to provide Meridian and surrounding areas with quality eye care products. That's why we're locally owned and operated. And don't forget, custom-made sunglasses like Costa for your eyes only. When you need to see clearly, Grayson Optical. 2021 24th Avenue, Meridian. 601-693-6374.
We welcome you to a new vehicle buying experience here at Doc's Toyota. Buying a new vehicle doesn't have to be stressful, but don't just take our word for it.
This was the best experience I've ever had buying a vehicle.
Doc's employees are top-notch.
I drove 2 hours, not once, but twice, to purchase 2 vehicles with a 5-month time frame.
Doc's delivers competitive pricing, a comprehensive selection, and flexible financing options, helping you get on the road from Carthage, Meridian, and beyond. There's a reason why there's no deal like a Doc's deal.
Welcome back. Let's get into that forecast.
Your forecast is brought to you by EMEPA, your Touchstone Energy Cooperative.
As we look at our record highs, record lows, it was back in 74. We had a high of 87 today. As we look to the record low, set back in 87, not all that long ago, low of 30 there. We see that today brings about sunshine, high of 80 is what we have. As we'll look here, 78 Tuscaloosa. Should be that in Demopolis as well, up to Birmingham at 76. We do have severe weather moving in late Wednesday afternoon. The Meridian area right now to level 1. Again, we're a couple of days away from this, and it's not over then. We have more weather on Thursday to the north, just up Winston County way. And again, all of that can change this many days out. We'll watch this. But potential severe weather Wednesday and possibility of Thursday in Mississippi. Cooler weather on the way, as we see here nationally. Our 7-day outlook calls for 78, 79, in some cases 80, depending upon where your boots are standing. We'll get down to 65 tonight. Perfect weather. But tomorrow, look at this. Heat wave is on the way. 85, 87 on Thursday. By Friday, we're at 88. Then we get more showers over the weekend. Look at this. 86 Saturday, down to 73 on Sunday. No mention of potential bad weather there yet, but it always makes me question it when we see it in the forecast. We'll keep you up to date on that and monitor it. All the way through April the 15th, we're going to see at least 70-degree weather and then easing back into the 80s after this cool spell moves in there. Cool at 73. I won't complain about that, will you? Not bad at all there. But definitely staying away from the colder weather as we get into April, mid-month there. Let's take a look at what the fishing calendar calls for today. Looks like it's going to be a northeast wind, 5 to 10, becoming south-southeast this afternoon. Now, perfect time to go. It's going to be this afternoon at 3 o'clock to 5. Not bad at all. A minor time, if you just have a few minutes to go today, hit that between 11 and 12. But, again, your prime time is this afternoon. Sunrise happened at 6:42 this morning. We'll have sunset hitting at 7:15 this afternoon. That's a quick look at a few headlines, and we want to remind you, Meridian, that we are without power. Clarkdale is going to be delayed until 9 a.m. start time. Why? We have power lines down across Highway 45 coming into Meridian there by the Evangel Temple. And let's pull this back up and show you again our map here where you need to go. As we show this, take Hillcrest Drive into Meridian, coming into town from 145 to 22nd Avenue Heights to the red light there by I-20 and Sefco. If you're leaving town, make sure to follow that the opposite direction, or you could go skip an exit off of the 145 bypass and come into town out by the Ag Center, whichever way you need to go to reach us. But that's your quick route there. Again, power out for about 800 people. We'll do a quick update on this to see if there's any changes on that, and I doubt there is this early. At this point, we're still sitting at 798 without power. Again, we'll have updates coming up in just a moment. We're going to be back live in about 2 to 3 minutes as we get ready for the morning show. It is Election Day. Did we also mention it's April? I forgot about that. It's April Fool's Day.
And that power's no kidding.
Yeah, this is not kidding. This is the real thing. And our next suggestion is stay away from Clayton Cobbler. Do not be near that man. He will lie to you. He makes things up. He's a storyteller. Clayton Cobbler is the name. Remember that. Stay away from that man. We'll be right back as we'll get the morning show underway.
The Scotty Ray Report is brought to you by our following partners.